Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel where skincare is all about progression over perfection, because perfection doesn't exist. I'm doing a TikTok reaction video because it's been a long time and I get tagged and stuff, but my best friend and assistant Ashton has actually been going through TikTok and getting some videos for me. So I picked a few videos out the selection she gave me. So this will be an actual reaction. Usually I watch them and then we talk about them, but do remember I'm no expert. I'm just a skincare consumer who has been using it for a long time. This is what I know from amazing people I follow on TikTok, on YouTube, things I've learned from doing my own research, and my own personal experience with cosmetics as well. But first of all, huge thank you for the sponsor of this segment of today's video, CosRx. They're famous, they're viral. Snail Mucin Cream is now gonna come in a tube form. As well as the tub, you'll still have the tub, but it comes in a tube form. If I can find the video, I'll find it, but I've always said, I love this product. I love this product, but sometimes I wish it came in a pump or a tube, just to squeeze it out a little bit and make it a little bit easier to use and easier to travel with. And they've done it. And I know I wasn't alone, because CosRx, one of their main things they always do is really listen to the feedback on their products, and having different packaging for this product was one of those main feedback points. So I'm glad they've listened. And CosRx noticed that a lot of people were actually repackaging their moisturizer over on TikTok, which I personally don't recommend. If a brand comes in a particular package, you keep it in that package for a reason. And you know, who has time to do that? Everything's the same, you just have the options between a tube and a tub. It's the same skin barrier caring formulation, the same texture that we all know and love. So CosRx listened and they put it in a tube for us. Thank you. Thank you. This is a TikTok themed video, so make sure you check out their TikTok Snail Duo Shot Challenge. If you're on TikTok and you want to share your love for their Snail Mucin products, get on TikTok, film a video, use all the essential hashtags, let CosRx know you've done it by tagging them. You can check out some examples in the description box down below. Check out their social media or website for more information on the Snail Duo Shot Challenge. And for every snail cream tube you purchase, CosRx will gift you a 30ml Snail Mucin Essence, usually worth $9. But yes, thank you again to CosRx for sponsoring today's video. So let's get into it. I'm gonna watch this one first.
Instead of doing this, do this instead. When you rub like this, it stretches your skin and the product is not going to absorb as well as if you slap the products into your skin. The harder the better. So when you do it this way, you get the blood circulating and your products are just going to absorb so much better. So with toners, I generally like to press it into my skin first and then start tapping. Now watch your eyes. And I do the slapping technique about 90% with all of my products. And I am not saying to never rub at your discretion. For instance, with moisturizers, I'll just rub it around a little bit and then tap. For more.
That video very much reminds me of when like the 10-step K-beauty routine became a really big thing in the West, and everyone was like, Korean techniques of, like, you know, smacking rather than rubbing. So the slapping rather than patting or rubbing trend is back again. And I find that with TikTok, it takes a few years for a trend to circle back round, kind of thing. I really like this woman's content. I watch her videos. They kind of just pop up on my For You page. However, there is no scientific reason or evidence that slapping or patting your skincare works better than rubbing. And I think the idea is that patting like this creates heat. That's from what I remember. People were saying it warms up your product and it penetrates into the skin better. Slapping helps it penetrate better. And I think the idea comes from two places. The rise of K-beauty and like Korean skincare secrets from articles that the Western world are kind of made up, and kind of like beautician techniques of applying skincare. You know, it's meant to be a relaxing, enjoyable experience. Again, the idea that you apply heat to your skin with your own like hand heat and it helps the products absorb better, it's not true. It doesn't work like that. Rubbing products into your skin also doesn't stretch your skin, despite what a lot of people say. The very minimal rubbing of your skin, like this, for like 20 seconds maximum a day isn't going to make a whole lot of difference. In fact, there are actually ingredients in products like moisturizers, sunscreens that allow the product to slip and slide over your face. They allow the product to physically glide over your skin. So these tiny little motions aren't really going to make that much of a difference. I do like to pat in toners and essences and some serums depending on the consistency of them. It's more just for ease, For like, you know, you put a toner in your hand, you can't then like start rubbing it around. Well, you can, but when you put a toner in your hand, you start patting like this. It's just easier to kind of control where it goes, you know, without having to apply it to a cotton pad and waste a load of product. There's really no difference. Like, there's no evidence that like rubbing product into your skin means it's going to absorb less than patting into your skin. Okay, this next video I have seen.
If your lip balm has petroleum, ditch it. Petroleum is literally toxic. This is organic, yes. It's on sale, yes. And the ingredients are relatively clean. It has organic sunflower seed oil. While I don't want to eat that, I'm okay with that on my lips. And everything else is clean. The natural flavors is fine. Once again, you're not eating it. So for a clean choice for lip balm and saving money, why not?
A few warning signs here. First of all, he used the word toxic and clean so many times within the space of 10 seconds. If I hear that, I run. They're an expert in marketing, not in science. Next, petroleum isn't literally toxic in any way whatsoever. It's just not. There's no evidence that it's toxic, which doesn't really mean anything. A carcinogenic, there's nothing. Vaseline petroleum jelly is literally an occlusive layer. One of the best, in fact, that it just sits on top of your skin. It cannot penetrate the skin. It can't enter your skin to be toxic. You know, that obviously comes from an idea that comes from petroleum jelly, like it's a mineral oil, blah, 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 blah. We know this by now, right? Vaseline has been viral again for like the last year or so, so we know all this by now. In fact, petroleum jelly has been used in medicine, in hospitals, and later in cosmetics from as early as like 1860 or 1850 something. And not a single case of like toxic poisoning or cancer related to the use of petroleum jelly has ever been reported. Ever. And in fact, with mineral oils in general, there is no evidence whatsoever that it's harmful in any way. I'm not even 100% sure what he means by toxic. Like what? Like what? Clean. Again, he's used the word clean. Again, means nothing. If we're going to be as picky as he is, then the mint lip balm in this really nice collection, honestly, is a bargain. Contains known irritants. It contains peppermint leaf extract, potentially irritating fragrant ingredients like linalool and limonene. In fact, some of the ingredients in these products are known for being so irritating for some that there was a whole lawsuit about it. People were allergic to the limonene, the linalool, the more natural, clean ingredients that were in this product. But hey, it's organic, so it has to be good, right? You know, fuck science, like when it's clean. I've seen him talk about food before rather than cosmetics, and he gets shit wrong there as well. There's a lot of people debunking him online and people like this online. Okay, let's watch this one.
This isn't the only way to top up your SPF. This right here is the ultimate hack for SPF. It's a lip balm that doubles up as an eye cream. This was one of the best and most affordable beauty decisions I ever made. That SPF protection will protect against wrinkles.
Yeah, so this is literally a sunscreen stick, right? Obviously that's a lip balm, but it's like a sunscreen stick. We have those. This is a much easier way though, however, when it comes in like a lip balm form, and a nicer way, in my opinion, to apply sunscreen around the eyes. The main complaints people have about sunscreen around the eyes, it's irritating. If they sweat, it can go into the eyes and kind of blur their vision. With an SPF lip balm, it tends to just cling and sit on the skin better and doesn't budge as much. But again, the same with sunscreen sticks. On that same note, however, one thing I would struggle with a lip balm that does look as moisturizing, occlusive as the lip balm she's using is that it can be a little bit too greasy if you have oily skin. I get oily eyelids, not sweaty, I get greasy eyelids. You know, lip balms have things like oils and they have very occlusive ingredients that if you are oily, it might not feel great on your skin because it's going to be very greasy. It's going to feel like an overly glossy look. But yeah, get yourself a sunscreen stick. You know, if mineral sunscreens don't show up on your skin, if they don't cause white cast, you can get really good mineral sunscreen versions of these, and they just tend to stick a bit more onto the skin because they're a little bit chalkier. But yeah, sheer ones do. Who has a good one? Supergoop have a great SPF lip balm, a bit plasticky tasting. Hello Sunday, a great SPF lip balm that you could use around your eye. But yeah, get a sunscreen stick. Okay, next one. Hang on, I'm gonna have to pause it. Use hydroxystatic acid, rub onto your nose for 30 seconds. Leave it on for 5 minutes, then wash it off. Do this twice a week. I don't get this. There's no reason why this is a better way to apply salicylic acid over any other form of application. We know rubbing versus patting versus wiping doesn't really make a difference when applying skincare. Maybe with a cleanser it can make a difference, but not in this case. You're supposed to leave this product on and let it work. In fact, I think the standard for ingredients working is 30 minutes. So once you do your skincare, you're meant to leave everything for 30 minutes before you even think about washing things off, blah, blah, blah. There's no reason why this would work any better. She's maybe doing a very tiny bit of manual exfoliation with a cotton pad twice a week. There's no reason why this would work over just using salicylic acid as directed, which is to apply onto dry, clean skin with a toner or with your hands, depending if it comes in a serum-y form or a toner form. Leave it on, let it do its job. A BHA is oil soluble, so it will go into the pores, work from within kind of thing. Yeah, then you leave it on. You're meant to leave it on so it can get to work. There's no reason why, I don't know. Try it and let me know, I guess. Okay, the next one is a slugging on top of makeup. Okay, let's see. I think the main thing that has come out of this slugging trend, and one thing that has been reiterated over and over by dermatologists, is that you need to be putting Vaseline, whatever your slugging product is, over clean skin. Vaseline, the CeraVe ointment, is an occlusive layer, so putting over makeup, putting over the day's debris and dirt, your own sweat, your own oils, it becomes like a greenhouse for breakouts. You're literally trapping everything in. Okay, so the pro, she says, for doing this is that it rehydrates makeup. There's no hydrating properties to Vaseline. So unlike I don't know what makeup is, like a fixing spray, refreshing spray, I don't know, it's not gonna renew your makeup in a physical way. Maybe the natural shine that Vaseline gives you and the shiny shit that she mixed with it is gonna make you look refreshed and renewed. Then she goes on to say that it moisturizes skin. Vaseline doesn't moisturize the skin. Vaseline, again, is good at trapping in hydration and moisture after using the right products, but it has no hydrating or moisturizing properties of its own. It's literally an occlusive layer. And then she says, gives a plump glow. Yeah, I can see it gives the illusion of a plumpy glow. Yeah, I see that. But this is honestly just unnecessary. I feel like this is a good example of TikTok liking to take a trend and run with it and then rinse it for all it has. And people are like, how else can we add a new spin onto this trend and make it further more interesting? The only thing you should be doing with slugging is applying it to a clean face after you moisturize and hydrate your skin and then go into bed. There's nothing else you need to do because that's how it works and that's all it needs to do. There's no other thing you should be doing with this. Okay, let's watch this one.
Let's just be honest. Your skin will never clear if you keep doing these things I'm going to mention. Number 1, you don't wash your skincare products. Why does your cleanser look like this? Don't ask me, but why does yours look like this? Wash your skincare products. Number 2, it's been 2 weeks and you still haven't washed your bed sheets? Your pillowcases? That is disgusting. Wash your bed sheets! Number 3, you've been wearing sunscreen. I see you. Good job. But you don't double cleanse at the end of the day? You wonder why you're breaking out? Talked about this. Like, if you keep doing these things, your skin will never, and I mean ever, clear.
Okay, yeah, so this reminds me of like the very early kind of like skincare hacks, things that may be breaking you out that you didn't know, why your skincare routine isn't working, kind of early day YouTube videos. Clean the space around you, wash your hands, clean your products. Did COVID teach you nothing? Like, I agree, like you have to start with a clean slate. And we all know the pillowcase hack. We all know the pillowcase kind of like can be doing you dirty kind of thing. Pillowcases, cotton ones especially, they can hold on to things like oils from your face, your sweat, oils from products. Any product that you put on overnight can seep into that pillowcase, all of which can break you out. You can get a silk pillowcase, a sateen pillowcase. I hate them personally. They're not for me. I just don't like the way they feel. But listen, if you've got 2 pillows on your bed, you've got 4 sides to a pillow, right? So you can just flip them and take turns, you know, every so often. I think the general consensus that is you need to wash your bedding at least once every 2 weeks. As for double cleansing, I'm a firm believer in double cleansing for a few reasons. I feel like whilst cleansers are made to cleanse off everything, no matter what the cleanser is, for me personally, an oil-based cleanser, like a cleansing balm, a cleansing oil, what we consider a first cleanse, they're better at removing sunscreen and makeup more effortlessly. I feel like with a standard foaming cleanser, You're rubbing a fair bit, you're trying to get in everywhere, whereas with an oil or a cleansing balm, it glides over your face. They're mostly clear, so you can see all the corners where you need to get, you don't miss anywhere, and it effortlessly removes that sunscreen and makeup so that you can then go in and wash your skin without anything else getting in the way. You don't have to have 2 separate cleansers, you can use the same cleanser twice. I just find that an oily consistency or a soft balmy consistency that changes into an oil makes the whole process so much more enjoyable and easier. None of these are a necessity really, but they are the kind of like little things that can make a big difference. So there we go. Those are a few skincare TikToks that I reacted to today. Let me know your opinion on some of these. I feel like we had a very mixed bunch today, and I'm going to find myself that EOS lip balm set because that is a bit of a bargain. You can watch some more reaction videos here and some general light entertainment here, and I'll see you over there.